you can just look around you. There's so much plastic litter and other litter lying around. It all came down the rivers, and that's why we find our beaches also quite littered.
Following the floods and the heavy rains in the Easter weekend, we obviously had a lot of surge coming down from the rivers and a lot of plastic, including PET bottles, but other, polystyrene and other waste. And the harbour seems to be a bit of a trap for litter, and so a lot of it has landed up where we are today, which is at the Royal Natal Yacht Club. So members of the public and civil society organisations have band together to kind of do a big public cleanup, and I think it will continue for weeks to come.
Obviously what this is a tip on the iceberg, so it's really a big problem when you can only imagine what's going on under the sea and what the animals are going through. But then what this is actually doing is highlighting the impact or the crisis of plastics in South Africa. We need to start managing our waste better, and obviously all of this is mostly plastic. Our statistics say 80% of what we collect is plastic, which is recyclable. So it can be, used in a very profitable way, but then it's actually ends up in the dump site in the ocean somewhere, damaging the ocean instead of really being revenue for something else.
The problem is correct waste management. There has to be waste. In all industry there has to be waste. It's what you do with the waste that's the issue. And if the waste isn't handled correctly, then you get problems like you see here, where you get a lot of plastic and other waste into the environment. We have to do something about this, and often it's from source, because this plastic that you see in Durban Bay here originated miles upstream, and if the communities along the rivers don't have the capacity or the facilities to manage their waste, then you are going to have a problem.
The challenge is, if we don't have proper waste management upstream, and if there are no recycling facilities, if people are not educated about what to do with their waste, then we're going to have our dirty rivers, dirty beaches. Well, 80% of litter, especially on our South African coast, comes from rivers. And that is why Plastic SA and our partners, the packaging industry, have embarked on river catchment projects. And those river catchment projects focus on 4 activities upstream. It's waste management and recycling, education and awareness programs, encourage litter booms where possible, and then the last resort should be cleanups of beaches and rivers. Actually, we should not be cleaning up, but unfortunately, that is what's happening now, especially after big rainstorms.
Today we are here to help. I think that this is both a very sad day and a very happy day. So the sad day is because we have all of this marine waste that is out there in the ocean, and the happy day is that we have all of these people who've actually come together to do something about it. Plastic is a little bit like climate change. You can't see the problem. We've known that there's a problem with plastics for a very, very long time. But because it's a piece of plastic here, a piece of plastic there, we don't see the magnitude of it, and we haven't really acted in the way that we should. And this storm that happened has brought the plastics really to the forefront. Now, plastics is something that we all use. It's something that we all actually want. It's how we use the plastic that's important, and more importantly, how we dispose of the plastic.
Because if you look at the life cycle of a plastic, it takes a lot of resources to actually make plastic. If you think of the fuel and all the cost that goes into it, but then it takes 1 minute for you to just gulp down that water bottle and then toss it away. And it also spends a lifetime in the ocean, which is about hundreds of years.
So much of what we see here is actually valuable. It can be recycled. The plastic industry is crying out for more material for recycling. So this shows us that there is a lot of money out there. There's treasure in our trash if we just work out how to use it more responsibly.
So today, as part of our Clean Up and Recycle SA Week, the KZN Marine Waste Network, and all the people here, I'm really encouraged to see young people, older people, everybody here together in their gumboots.
What we're trying to do is kind of educate everyone, not just in coastal communities, but everyone in the country about how they can manage their waste so that it doesn't all land up here.
We can see the problem. Now it's up to all of us to do something about it.
The bottom line is, we should not be doing cleanups. It should be the last resort.